Hello, this is Dr. Don, and this video is part 3 in the series Making the Best Use of the Online Game. And this is about the game speed. Is the game speed too fast? We're addressing this because it's one of the issues you will encounter in managing the Rocket Math online game. Students and sometimes parents even will complain that the game speed is too fast. We know because they complain to us all the time on the green feedback button. And in a way, they're not wrong. It is too fast to keep figuring out facts over and over. Many students will do math fact practice or games by figuring out the answers over and over and over and never trying to remember the answer. At 3 seconds to input an answer, there's simply not enough time to figure out the answer. But that's a feature, not a bug. I had students, remedial students, who spent years, 2 full years, figuring out math facts every single day without ever trying to recall them. So why does the game go so fast then? To force students to use recall instead, to begin remembering the facts instead of always trying to figure them out. That's why the game goes so fast. Here's the deal. Recall is instantaneous. 3 seconds is purposefully not enough time to figure out facts. But because recall is instantaneous, 3 seconds is not too fast if a student is using recall to get the answer, just remembering it instead of figuring it out over and over again. So we're in the business of helping students put these facts into their memory banks so they no longer need to stop and think about them. So if a student can't answer instantly, then they need to get more practice so they can put it in their memory, and that's what Rocket Math is designed to do. Students keep figuring out facts over and over again because often they're presented with way too many facts at once for them to memorize. The Rocket Math online game has a secret. It introduces only 4 facts to be learned at a time, and usually those are just 2 facts and their reverses. So this makes memorization easy and, of course, possible. Each of the 26 A to Z sets in Rocket Math only introduces these 4 new facts, and with only 4 to learn, any student can learn them automatically, like they know their name, without any hesitation or intervening thought process. Recalling facts learned to automaticity takes less than a second, so answering in 3 seconds is quite doable. And once the student's performance in the game demonstrates that they don't hesitate on any of those facts that they've learned so far, then the game gives them 4 more to learn. The Rocket Math game works very hard to ensure students can commit the facts to memory. The first time and every time they do not answer quickly enough or answer incorrectly, they get a substantial and effective correction procedure. First, they're told and shown the answer. Then the answer clears and they're asked to go again. They must remember what Mission Control said and put that answer down. And amazingly enough, some programs actually leave the answer displayed so the students can just copy it without involving any memory. So that's not helpful. Then the same problem, the same problem is displayed again for the student to answer. Then a different problem is displayed to sort of distract them for a second, and then back to the target problem. This happens a second and a third time, and then the correction is over, but the problem continues to be given. We're going to show you this correction, and I want you to note the red X that counts this first correction. Here the student hits a problem they don't really know. They can't answer it immediately.
You gotta run faster. Wait, listen for the answer.
4 times 4 equals 16.
Go again.
Student has to remember it. Answer it again. Now answer something else. Back to the target problem. Answer something else. Back to the target problem. Then they're out of the correction, but they continue to practice problems, and that one is interspersed. Notice the red X that counts that correction. That's important because we use that to figure out how much practice do students actually need. They need to practice until they can reliably do all the problems in a phase, which sometimes is up to 30 problems, with no more than 2 corrections, either for speed or for a correct answer. After the third correction, then the game starts them over on that phase. This just provides more practice, like an extra day on the worksheet program. And so the doors close, boom, and it says start over. And then here's the little encouragement we try to give them.
This is Mission Control. You have embarked on a difficult mission. You've just defeated 3 hard problems. Not everyone can do these missions, but we think you might be able to. We're hoping you are tough enough to start over and try it again. If you are, good luck. We've got your back.
So changing the speed of the game is dangerous. If you give students enough time to figure out the facts, that's what they will do instead of memorizing. And many students will do that over and over and over again and never try to remember. So the danger is if you slow down the game speed, they may never realize that they can remember the fact instead of having to figure it out each time. So if students come to you complaining that the game is too hard or goes too fast, you can see if it really is. Now we assume that 1 or 2 startovers per part is really to be expected. So we calculate a real-time difficulty score for each student. And you can access that in the review progress screen. And look at that column right there, difficulty score. The system, what it does is it divides the number of startovers by the number of parts passed. So if they're under 1.0, that means it's very easy for them. And most students are under 1.0, so they don't even have to start over in every part. But if it's over 3.0, it might be too hard if they're complaining. So if a student comes to you, you can check to see. You can look their name up on the review progress thing and see what their score is. You can also sort your class by this difficulty score, and you can see if you have students who are having too hard of a time. So if you have students with difficulty scores over 3.0 and they're complaining, you can change the speed of gameplay. You go to the green individual action button at the end of their row, right, this individual action button, and click to reveal the options, and one of those options is change game speed. If you select that, you get a pop-up that says, of course, change game speed, and in the little window it tells you what the game speed is they have currently. If you click on the little tiny arrow here, it will bring down your options, which are fast, normal, slow, and slowest. It doesn't show you the speed, the number of seconds on there, but I'm going to tell you what it is. So normal is 3 seconds per digit, which means that a 2-digit answer like 12 or 42 is 6 seconds. A 3-digit answer like 100 or 121 is 9 seconds. If you go to slow, it will give them 4.5 seconds per digit, which makes a big difference. You'd be surprised. And the slowest speed is 6 seconds per digit. And hopefully they're not going to do that and figure them out each time, count on their fingers. If you have students, by the way, with difficulty scores under 5 who are finding it very easy, you can challenge them to see if they can do it at the fast speed, which is 2.25 seconds per digit. And some of them really ought to have that challenge. So this is part 3 of how to make the best use of the online game, and it addresses the question of whether the game speed is too fast. Part 1 looks at the first steps of getting this going. Part 2 looks at fluency data,